Spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Spaghetti and meatballs staring at me. Get yourself a serving, maybe two. Talking Bulls basketball is what we do. Get your garlic bread and your dish of the week on spaghetti and meatballs. Oh yeah, spaghetti and meatballs. Don't forget the Parmesan cheese.
All right. Welcome back. We are back. Another episode of Spaghetti and Meatballs. Here to talk about your favorite basketball team. Your hosts, Trevin and John.
We're back. Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Throwing it out there right away. Happy Thanksgiving for sure. Big week.
Let's just we always do a little recap. We said we wanted the circus trip. We wanted to be 2-3, 3-2. We came away 3-2. Since then, we beat Portland, or we beat Denver.
Yep.
We beat the Knicks in a great behind win.
Yes, good win.
Embarrassing loss the other night against the Pacers.
Yeah. I guess out of 82 games, you're gonna have you'll have a few of those. You just toss it out. But yeah, that was pretty ugly.
Well, it's a perfect time to get well. We have Houston and Orlando, the two worst records in the NBA.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. As always, I refer to you. What are your inside sources telling you about Vooch status for tonight? Have you heard?
I believe he's going to play.
I knew he was traveling. I didn't know.
Now,
your guys are on the inside.
I probably should have double checked with my guys before we came on, but the last I heard, it was looking like he was going to play. So now
he's
I don't know what kind of minutes.
Right.
I don't know what kind of minutes he's going to play, but yeah, I believe he'll be back.
Clearly a difference maker. I mean, different team without Vooch in there. He was starting to feel it. I'm interested to see the dynamic now that Kobe's heating up a little bit and he's back, because they haven't been on the court together since last year.
Yeah. And even, I mean, how many games was that? 20 games?
Limited, but yeah. So that's something I'm really looking forward to tonight.
Yeah. I'm excited to get him back, because like you said, it was right. He had the best game of the season. Was it against the 76ers, I think?
Yeah. It was against the 76ers.
And then he's been out ever since then. So hopefully he can come back and get right back to where he was at, or where he was heading to.
That I'd like to highlight on is that the other guys were really trying to get him involved and get him going. I remember one pass where he passed it to Zoe, and Zoe kicked it right back to him. It was like, shoot them, and he hit it, and he was like,
that's what you got to do. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and that was right at the beginning of the game. There was, you could definitely tell. And even then, I believe coming out of the third quarter in that game too, it was the same thing. And it was a couple of games there in a row where they were trying to get him going, where they just kept feeding him. Just, hey, keep shooting it. And he got a little more confident with it.
Got to get back on that horse.
Exactly. Shooter's got to shoot,
He's got to shoot. Usually we start off with some text that we get through the show line, or some personal text. Can I read a personal one?
Yes, I would love to hear it.
Okay, so sorry, I should have been more prepared. This is from you might know him as Wong, Andy Wong.
I do. Yes.
He's in the fantasy league with us. So let me scroll here. He's getting crazy. He's being pervert. Okay.
I can only imagine what that text feed looks like.
This was Sunday night. Just watch a good portion of your podcast before Ivy, that's his daughter, made me stop. So awesome! !
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And this guy is talking about, he's a Waddle and Sylvie guy. He's an ESPN 1000 guy. Sometimes we butt heads because I'm a score head. But that's high praise.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Alcine. That's awesome.
Yeah. And did you have one that you read from the text line?
It was on the Twitter feed.
Oh,
on the old tweet line.
The old tough guy Twitter guys.
Yeah, exactly.
6169 again?
No, it wasn't. Which, of course, after we won the other night, he's been silent. Not a word.
I sent him a DM, but okay, I'll let you know what I hear back from Nick.
Okay, I'm don't hold my breath, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This one was from Squid the Kid 87. He says here that this Bulls team is going nowhere. Exclamation point, exclamation point. Again, going nowhere fast.
Did he hashtag anything or
hashtag DeMar overrated?
Why are we getting so much haterade on, like, guys, if you don't like the team and you don't like us, stop following.
Just, we don't need you. You don't need us. We don't need you.
Well, whatever. No press is bad press. They're
Squid the Kid 87.
Yeah. Can you send me that? Will you text me that name later? Squid the Kid
87.
87.
Yeah. Real attitude problem.
Yeah. He's one of these generation, whatever you call them. I don't like him.
Some letter.
Yeah, some letter. So Trevor and I had a pre-show meeting today about 1:30, and we thought something nice about Thanksgiving. Trevor, you want to delve into that a little bit?
Yeah. We thought it would be appropriate, given that Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Some of you may be watching this on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So we just want to share our top 3 things that we're thankful for with this Bulls team. It could be we could have done a top 50 list if we wanted to with how things are going this season, but we trimmed it down to a top 3. So do you want to start with your first one, or?
No, you're rolling. You got it rolling. This is kind of your baby. So go ahead, kick us off with your number one.
So my number one. Now this is not in any particular order, but this is just one of them. Last week you had asked me if when Kobe White comes back, trade him. Depending on how he's playing, are they going to trade? And I thought about it more after we hung up, and my answer now is whatever this front office sees necessary. So that goes my thing I'm thankful for here is a competent front office, a front office that we trust. They had a vision going into this season, really coming in from last season, rebuilding brick by brick from the bottom up. So sticking to that vision, the commitment to it, selling the players, being able to sell free agents into coming to Chicago and what we're building here. So that would be my first thing I'm thankful for.
That's a great number one. And I don't want to take too much time. Like, I just wanted us to kind of hammer off our top 3s. But one point there I'd like to highlight that you said was, for years now, it's been like Chicago can't land a big free agent. Chicago can't land a big free agent. And now I think they're really turning the corner on that. So
yeah, exactly. That whatever they said, whatever they were pitching last offseason.
Yeah, it worked.
So yeah.
Okay. I'll go into my and like Trevin, this isn't a 1, 2, 3. This is a top 3 in no particular order. But kind of you did a great job by focusing off court, kind of not on court. And I'm going to stick somewhat with that same way. I'm going to say that the again, front office, the personnel department has given Billy Donovan a team of players that he can work with, that he can run his system with. So it's part Billy Donovan and it's part front office kind of combining into making a cohesive unit that he can coach in his style. If that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. I think that's a great call because it wasn't just any free agents that they brought in. They picked him as their coach and built players, or got players and built around his system. So yeah, good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. What do you got?
So my second one is, and I know we'll kind of try and go through this a little bit quicker because I believe do we have a guest coming on here in a little bit?
Yeah, and I don't mean to take away from the show. I'm just checking my text line. We do have a guest coming on.
Yes.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that later.
So my number 2 is pleasant surprises. And I say that in Javonte Green, Derek Jones Jr., and Ayo DeSumo. And now there have been others in that second unit. But those three in particular, with the injuries that we've suffered, I remember our first episode, we were talking, what's the bench going to be? What are we going to get out of them? And they've exceeded my expectations for sure. So it's been nice, and I don't know how long they can sustain this or what, hopefully with Vooch coming back in, they not as much will be required of them. But so that's my second thing is pleasant surprises.
And I find it interesting that given any given week or game, it could be one of those pleasant surprises. And as of late, it's been a little bit more Derek Jones Jr., where earlier in the season, and maybe because his roles changed, it was Javonte Green. So I really like that one. Yeah. My number two, and again, anybody could have probably said this one. Actually, anyone could have said my next two. Alex Caruso. Yeah. I mean, gosh darn, am I thankful for this guy. And I remember texting me at the beginning over the summer, I hated the signing. I hated it. But you know what? I was wrong. I'm not afraid to admit it. I didn't know enough about the guy. He's out on the left coast.
Yeah, we didn't watch a lot of his games. Yeah.
It's just we are probably 3, 4, 5 wins less without Alex Caruso. So there's my number 2.
I mean, you saw the difference it made the other night with him being out against Indiana.
Yep. And I'm not saying he turns around a 35-point blowout.
No, right. Obviously. But he goes out, he sets the tone.
Yeah,
with his defensive presence, and I think that's a good one because agreed. We didn't really know what to make of that signing when it happened.
No, I hated it, and I'm wrong. So I'm happy about that.
Good for you for admitting it.
Hey,
good on you.
Yeah.
Okay, now my third one, and I don't know if you have the same one. Because I'm going to now on court. So if it's the same one, just all the more reason why we as Bulls fans should be thankful. But it might not be. DeMar DeRozan.
Well, I'm going to stop you. Can I? It is. So go. You give. Come on.
I mean, I don't really know what we can say that hasn't already been said about him on this podcast. The art of the mid-range jumper, his ability to be able to get his shot off just about any time. I was looking through some of his stats, and he's posting career highs and shooting efficiency and 3-point percentage and all sorts of stuff. So, DeMar DeRozan.
I'm 100% with you. He was dubbed the worst free agent signing of the summer.
Yes.
He's posted 6 30-point games. You said it beautifully. The art of the mid-range jump shot. I'm surprised when he misses a mid-range.
Yeah, I know. It's like, wait, what? Did I see that right?
Okay. Just got the text.
Oh, this is exciting.
Our guest is ready. Do we give background or do we let him, come right in?
Yeah, let's give the background. Well, okay. No, bring him in. Yeah, bring him in so he can hear.
Bring him in. Okay, I'm going to tell him to jump in. So here he is. Our first ever guest is going to be signing in here, and there's a reason. I know a lot of people have been like, "Hey, can I jump on the pod?" We had Casey. Casey Johnson was telling us, "Can I jump on the pod? Can I jump on the pod?" We're like,
eventually.
Yes. Jeez. And then it was Tony Kukoc at the game the other night, like. I know he sent a text to one of your guys. Can you get me on the show? And you're like, Tony, we'll get you on the show. Like,
yeah, exactly. We're still in the beginning stages here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Lots of requests.
Okay, here we go.
Hey guys,
there he is.
What's up? Can I do an introduction here?
Yes, please do.
All right, this is Frank Murray. If you don't know him. We all went to college together. We played on an intramural basketball team called the Beef Curtains together, so we know our way around a round ball.
He's no stranger to the hard court.
No. And the reason Frank is our first ever guest. I don't know why you're laughing, buddy, because you're about to be put on the hot seat.
It's great, baby.
He fired off a text. Like, I'm gonna read it. You ready? Yeah. You keep that handy, big guy. He fired off a text, and I screenshotted it. So here it is. I'm going to read it. I'm going to let you defend yourself here.
Mm-hmm. Which one are you leading with?
You're going to find out about 8 seconds. So this is a three-way text. We had a little three-way going. Frank said, and I quote, "Someone needs to say it. LaVine is overrated. The Olympic team was purely to get the Chicago market interested." All right.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Are you guys ready?
Those are some big words, Frank. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So at the time I fired that text message off, I was a little concerned / frustrated Bulls fan. I believe that was right after the Golden State Warriors game. And you know what we need if we're going to go somewhere this year, like serious, like not like third, fourth, fifth seed. We need LaVine to be that number one killer. Like right now, it's DeRozan. DeRozan's dropping 30 a game pretty much. He's the fifth leading scorer in the NBA, and I know LaVine's right behind him. But when like the first 10 games, I was getting a little upset with him. There was at least 5, 6, 7 shots a game where I'm like, what are you doing? You're getting double teamed. You're throwing up some crazy shot when you have, like Caruso or Ball, like wide open. The double team's coming over. Find that open guy. It's basic Todd Countryman 101 basketball.
Wow, that's a poignant perspective and comparison there.
Yeah. I guess
Todd, Zach LaVine, same, hand in hand. Right?
Yeah. Pretty much the same player, really.
Yeah.
Same body type.
My frustration was, and I'll see what you feel now. You feel he wasn't playing up to expectations, or you truly think he's an overrated player?
Okay, I used overrated in the heat of the moment. What I have seen from him the last 6 games is much different player. I am not like sitting there yelling at the TV like, what are you doing? I think he's playing much more in rhythm with the offense. But there were just times where DeRozan would come down, he scored like 3 or 4 baskets in a row. We're killing it. We're going, ball's moving around. And then all of a sudden LaVine fires a shot from like 5 feet beyond the arc with like a guy in his face. Like, what are you doing? If you're a number one scorer, you're taking efficient shots. You're playing within the offense and you're making it roll. But I've been greatly impressed. Wait, he's shooting like what? Almost at a 50% clip right now. His field goal percentage is really high. So I don't have any stats to really back me up where he's like just going crazy. But, I guess we're just spoiled with Jordan. At least that's where, and like D Rose, man, would just own the court in his heyday. But like, yeah, I want to see LaVine really take over and dominate and not just be.
And I know you're an avid listener of the show. And you've known us for years. We pride ourselves. We're not all sunshine and rainbows on this pod. We tell it how it is. There's times when I get frustrated with Zach. He's looking for a call. He's not getting back on D. He puts the other 4 guys in a vulnerable situation. He lets up an easy transition bucket. So there's times when I'm with you there. So I just want to put that out there. I wasn't just Frank bashing. Haven't done that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because he is still, has a few of the of Zach of old tendencies where he will. Why did you shoot that? One pass to him, he double teamed and he throws something up. But I think overall, that happens a small percentage of the time. I think really when you do see him do it, it's easy to think of Zach of a couple of years ago, and you remember how frustrating that was. But I think the other night against the Knicks, I mean, he carried them in that fourth quarter. So he's capable of doing it. And I think and like me and John have talked about, the nice thing is if he doesn't have it, and like you were mentioning, there's DeMar. So it's nice to have both those options, but it
really is.
Can I read Frank the second portion? Because you defended yourself good there.
Yeah. And can I just quickly add something, John, before you go any further?
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you, for having me on. I feel honored, and it's
it's our pleasure. Our pleasure.
This is the number one Bulls content that's out there, and I had to turn down Casey Johnson and a couple other people earlier today. So
I know you had to make a couple of tough choices, so we appreciate that.
This is the show I want to be on. You guys are like the number one downloaded podcast age range
we're
of
like
20
2 or
to
3
30 year
spots
olds.
behind Rogan. I think it's Rogan, Chicks in the Office, and then us. Or there might be one other one in there, but
Spaghetti and meatballs.
yeah.
Exactly. Just trending upwards.
So yes, of course.
Just thank you guys very much, and thank you
Yeah.
for producing such awesome content. You guys are the best.
Our pleasure. No, that kind words. We appreciate that.
Yes.
It's all
Great
truth.
outfit, by the way, too. All
Very
right.
true.
It's my Bulls red.
Yeah, see red, baby. So this one you don't have to defend. I'm just wondering what your stance is. All right, here we go. Frank Murray in the text. Don't get me wrong, boys. If he plays like he should, then the Bulls are a 1 or 2 seed. But we're not getting that. Reality is we are 3 or 4 at best, but more likely a 5 or 6 seed. We're now this is a couple weeks ago. Where is your stance now? Because okay, maybe we were out to that hot start and things cooled down, but we didn't really cool down that much. So where are you at right now? Where do you
now think? Especially the past 6 games? Like I said, I've been really impressed with how he's playing and playing within the offense and making things happen and taking advantage of his opportunities. So right now I'm leaning towards we're looking like a legit contender, like top in the East, like 1, 2, 3, like we're legit. And then we're gonna get Vooch back. Caruso hopefully isn't a serious injury. He'll be back soon. I don't know what Trevin's sources are telling him there with Caruso coming back or how long he's going to be out, but
little hazy so far. Little hazy.
His guys told him already. I asked that same question that Vooch looks like a go for tonight. We're not sure on Caruso.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I was trying to find my phone. I'm sure Casey's texted
okay.
me
Well, that brings me an interesting point. So, sorry, Frank. Continue. Finish your comment. Where do you think we are now?
And the reemergence of Kobe White. If Kobe can come in off the bench as a legit scorer, we're not asking him to drop 20, but carry the offense while the starters are sitting. They has the potential to go. I can't remember the guy. Is it Bradley, our backup center?
Yeah, Tony Bradley.
I mean, let's cut him right now and find somebody else. The guy's like, he reminds me of somebody who I really like, so I'm not going to say his name out loud, but his athleticism and ability to control a basketball and walk at the same time. Oh my gosh. It's like,
could you text us that? Could you text us who you're thinking of?
Yeah,
sure. I could, yeah.
Okay. Because I'd like to know.
Actually, Trevor and I were talking about Tony Bradley because he missed a wide open 2-handed dunk. I mean, it was contested, but nothing that he shouldn't have finished.
Yeah, he's like all the crap that Luke Longley got for being big and not being able to use his body. Like this guy's 100% worse. He can barely walk and run down the court and dribble or look for the ball at the same time. But not to bash him, but there's so many other bench players that are there. The kid from U of I is showing up really good. But like as long as this continues to develop and we can stay healthy, I really feel like we have that legitimate shot to take down the 76ers, to really just go at it for the 1 and 2 seed.
Current standing, we're 1 behind Brooklyn for the overall number 1 in the East.
Right.
So
and see them beat Brooklyn with Durant in the lineup too. That would be huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's I think the key there, like you said too, is if we can stay healthy for the most part all season long, the more this team plays together, the more minutes they all have together, just the better it's going to be by the time you get to the end of the season. So
So you guys have talked about this and beat it to death. Trevin especially. If it wasn't for DeRozan, where would we be?
Gotta love DeMar.
Oh man.
Yeah. We were talking. We were given our 3 things we're thankful for earlier in the podcast, and DeMar was on both of our lists because of the impact that he makes on this team on a nightly basis.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a question then. Caruso's out tonight. What's our starting 5 look like?
Well, I don't know. Do you start Vooch? Probably not, right?
And I worry about starting Kobe. Like I don't know.
And just because I wanted to make this point earlier, and I don't have my phone because this was again in a text that we had the other night, John, during the Knicks game. Kobe gets the ball. For some reason, it's like a 3-on-2 break, and he decides to just take it right to the rim himself, gets it stuffed right back at him, John texts me and says, Kobe White needs to stop sucking. after he texted that, I'm not even kidding. Like within the next 4 minutes, Kobe White had 14 points.
14 points. Yeah.
He really heated it up.
I want to give I want to give Fox some credit. I don't know who we got a hold of to get that message to him, but it worked.
And do I know guys on the bench? Yes. Do I know some trainers that probably could have told him that message? Somebody delivered the message.
It got to him because he if we can count on him in that second unit to get us 12, 15 points a night, that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah. Well, I'll be interested. It's about, we got a little while still for tip off. So I'm wondering, when we're going to see, I keep checking Twitter when we're going to see the starting lineup. So
so let's see. We got Lonzo, Zach, DeMar.
Right.
Then do you go with
Vooch?
Hopefully Vooch, and then
Javante has been.
Yeah, Caruso, maybe.
Like.
What about Jones Jr.? I like him.
Oh man, his emergence lately has been huge.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing him in the starting lineup.
Just start the game off, get the rotation going.
Yeah.
Nothing yet. Yeah. All right. So what do we think? This is Frank. I know you watch the show a lot. This is where we like to sprinkle in a little gambling.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Parmesan cheese. Or actually, Trevor, do you want to do the pasta dish of the week?
Oh yes,
the pasta dish of the week. So again,
my favorite segment, by the way. My favorite segment.
Well,
Sorry, I'm geeking out here. I'm just so honored to be on here live and while it's going on.
You're composing yourself very well.
Dish it over to me. I'm open.
So the dish of the week, and again, I had it on my phone. I don't know why I don't have it, but it was against the Nuggets the other night. Third quarter, Lonzo Ball to Derek Jones Jr. Not the big dunk that he had, but it was another one where because it was he came up and gave a little screen, little dive cut through the lane, and the thread the needle pass that Lonzo Ball got through the lane to a dive cutting Derek Jones Jr. to slam it home. That was it was a pretty impressive dish of the week.
Just vision by him all the time,
Yeah, all the time. We've talked about it before, just knowing where everybody's at. So
there's going to be your all-time dish of the week recipient, I think, by the end of the season.
Been a lot.
Oh, that would be an interesting thing to do, is to tally up to see who has the.
He's gotten it several times, and Caruso's gotten it several times. So
yeah, well, and it usually is between those two because I had like two or three options of Caruso.
Yeah.
That I could have. There was one that DeMar had too that was pretty good. A little head fake and wrap around to your boy Tony Bradley.
He has advantage because they know that the head fake and the spin is coming. So at any moment.
Oh yeah. A little whoop right around the corner.
So here we go. Sprinkling the Parmesan, just a little bit on top.
A little bit.
It's Bulls given 10 tonight. It was 9. The lines jumped a little bit. It's a big number.
Yeah.
With uncertainties with Caruso and Vooch, not that I don't think they're going to win against the worst team in the NBA. I do. I think they could blow them out. Am I willing to bet $100 on 10 points? I don't know. What do you guys think?
That's a lot of points. I mean, especially, if the Bulls are up by 20 points in the fourth quarter, I mean, it's, that lead can disappear pretty quick when the benches get cleared out. So I don't know. I would go for it though.
All right,
I would go for it. I would go for it. See, because I had 10.5 on mine. So, but
okay,
9, 10. I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll take that action.
All right, a little 9.5, 10. So there you go. Spaghetti and Meatballs is on the Bulls, given 10 on the road against the worst team in the NBA.
Frank, do you have a call on this? Do you have
what? I was going to start to agree with you and just say, like, our bench hasn't scored much, right? So that's where I'd get scared with the 10 points. But no, I mean, you have been spot on with all your sprinkles. So I'm not going to say anything. I think if anything, Levine or Rosen's going to go off, one of those two, and they're going to go over their point total.
And you could probably get a game parlay there, Frank. I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't have the point totals. But
I had 217. Oh, I didn't. Not their scoring totals, but total of the points was 217.
I wonder on the under on 217 with this Houston team, but
right.
Yeah, right.
But I think for sure DeRozan or Levine will go off, whatever their point total is. So
Yeah,
go for it.
I missed out on one the other night. I had a same game that was DeMar to go over 25, Zach over 20, Lonzo with 6 assists, the Bulls to win, and Lonzo to score 10 points. And I hit all of them except for that. He had 7 points. It's a killer. It's a killer.
It is.
But
you would have.
Yeah, I'm excited for tonight's game. Hopefully to see Vooch in there and get some.
And I,
I don't know. What are we thinking? Are we thinking a minutes limit for him?
I think there's got to be those rounds in the shade.
Sure.
15, 20 minutes.
I say anywhere, from 15 to 26 minutes.
I was just going to say 22
somewhere
to 24.
in that range.
Don't quote me.
All right.
So,
but he's another one. He's got to get back. He was just starting to get comfortable, I think, in the offense.
Yeah, we talked about. Yeah, you're right.
And then that COVID happened, but if he gets it back and Kobe comes on off the bench, man, this is going to be real legit.
Yeah, that's the exciting thing is that they still have yet to have their entire squad healthy at the same time. So,
I'm so happy to say after we're at 15, 16 games, we've only had one crappy past Pacers game last night or 2 nights ago. That was just what the heck.
Yeah, that Golden State game.
Golden State game, yeah.
Golden State was too,
but yeah, the Pacers game was
far between.
That was over pretty early.
The last couple of years, they're starting to rack up these games in a row where you're just like, oh god,
right. And that Pacers game actually was a good example of what happens when you're missing Vooch and you go up against a team with a good front court. Again, of Sabonis and what's the other guy's name? I can't remember it right now, but they dominated.
Duarte, I thought he played well for the Pacers, but
yeah. So hopefully Vooch can come back.
I don't want to overstep here, and I want to be very bold, but has Frank worked himself into a reoccurring guest spot?
I have to say, Frank, you were impressive. As always, I expected nothing less.
I had to turn my volume up for that. What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, I mean, just let it be known that there is maybe no one else.
You might get an invite here or there from Spaghetti and Meatballs.
Wow. Well, hey, my Wednesdays are always open.
I was going to say, keep your Wednesday evenings open. Because this was enjoyable. I think you bring a good outsider's perspective. So sometimes me and John get in here and we get this Bulls tunnel vision, So it's good to have.
We really appreciate you jumping on with us. And Frank, you're here. We've been workshopping a new ending catchphrase. Should we hit him? Should we hit him with it?
Oh, I think we need to. I think we need to.
So when we're going to wrap up a show, Trevin and I are just going to look at each other and say, "That's al dente."
Wonderful. I think you guys got it.
That's al dente to sign us off. And
what do you say?
I say go for it. You guys. Hey, you guys are the.
You got to join us on it. You got to join us on it.
All right. Let me count it down.
I just lost my reoccurring guest spot now. Oh boy.
No. It's going to take a lot more than that.
Are we ready?
That's al dente.
Wonderful.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, guys. I think Trevin left the meeting, but yeah.